people are kind of secretly hoping there is still some magic pill to success. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I have another really exciting habits video for you today. I know I've created a lot of videos about habits here on my channel, and the reason why that is the case is because I truly do believe that habits is one of those things that you just can't get enough of. Not that I'm saying that you need to apply every single habit that I share with you across all of these different videos, but the more that I learn about habits for success or habits that other people have adopted that have helped them achieve their goals, the more that I feel like as I share them with you, you get the opportunity to just hear that one or two that totally resonates, and if you start applying them, has a major effect on your ability to achieve your goals. So just take note when you're hearing these habits. Do any of them sound like they can really apply to your situation, or do any of them trigger you a little bit? Because if they do, that might be something that you need to work on. So I hope you enjoy this video. It's going to be all about mindset habits of successful women, and these are particularly ones that through the interviews that I've watched, or through the clients that I've worked with, or through the people that I'm friends with that have really successful businesses, that have really successful brands, these are habits that I've seen consistently across all of those women. So if you liked the video, I would very much appreciate it if you gave it a big thumbs up. And of course, if you are new around here, don't forget to subscribe, because this place is fun. It's fun to learn how to be the best version of yourself. So you should probably subscribe. Okay, so habit number one, and I've seen this pretty consistently, not just with women, but with people who are successful in general, and that is that they lean into fear. I know this seems obvious at this stage, but a lot of people are still letting their fear determine whether or not they should go towards something. Fear is an indication that you actually care about the thing that you're moving toward. Of course, fear can be an indication that there is a potential danger, but for the most part, we don't have that same psychological fear around things that we just don't care about, because we're not so worried about what if it doesn't work out. You know, if someone said to me, Erin, I think you'd make a really good architect, I think you should go and just like sketch up a building, I'd be like, okay, that's a bit weird, but I don't have all these fears and hang-ups about what if it doesn't work out, or this is my only shot, or am I going to be able to compete with the great? No, I'm just gonna do it and just not really care about it. If you find that there's a scenario that doesn't involve any type of physical danger, what you need to say to yourself is, the reason why I'm experiencing this fear is probably because I really care. I really truly do want this thing to be a part of my experience as a human being. And so if that's the case, you need to lean into that fear. So the next time you get that indication that you're feeling fear towards something, explore that a little bit more, because there's probably something there for you to follow. The next one is that the successful women I know, they have an the information is out there type of mindset. And what I actually mean by this, and particularly the characteristic that I'm talking about here, is resourcefulness. I've coached lots of different clients at this stage, and one thing I know to be true is that the clients that come to me on the second or third call saying, I researched this, I was looking up this, I was reading about this, or what do you think of this, are the ones that usually achieve success much faster than the ones that are relying on me to give them all the answers. And why that is so true is because resourcefulness is just so important, not just for entrepreneurs, but anyone trying to achieve any goals in their life. You don't want to be sitting around waiting for someone to tell you what to do, because the information is out there for you to figure it out yourself. And I know you might be thinking, well, what's the point in hiring a coach then? Because a coach is going to be there to hold you accountable and to support you and to help you correct your mistakes. But at the end of the day, if you are just sitting around waiting for your boss or your parent or your partner or your coach to tell you exactly what to do, you're going to be moving at such a slow pace. Be resourceful. You've got the most comprehensive information source at your fingertips, which is this little baby and a website called Google. Honestly, anything you want, whether it's scientific, whether it's theoretical, whether it's spiritual, whether it's personal, like anything you want to learn about, you can find on the internet. So there's no excuse to sit around waiting for someone to tell you the exact steps towards success, when you can go out there and start taking those steps and then just have people help correct your course along the way. The next next habit is that they trust themselves. This is insanely important, and I actually didn't realize how important self-trust was until, I'm gonna say, up to 6 months ago. I always knew that self-belief was important, but when it comes to taking action, self-trust is one of the most important elements of that. And what I mean by this is that if you want to achieve a goal, whether it's a health goal, whether it's a business goal, whether it's a life goal, you have to trust yourself enough to start taking action. You have to trust yourself that you're going to at least try your best to be consistent. You have to trust yourself that even if you fail, you're going to pick yourself back up and keep moving forward. You have to trust yourself that you are not going to let yourself get in a scenario that is totally unmanageable. And so one thing that I really think that you should be working on if you are trying to better yourself or achieve your goals is your self-trust. How do you start trusting yourself more? Well, it's just a matter of taking small steps day by day through challenging yourself. Like I said in the beginning, leaning into that fear. The more that you lean into that fear and that you become out victorious, the more that you're going to start to trust yourself. But also through personal development work. I mean, I've got lots of different videos about journaling, overcoming limiting beliefs. All of that stuff is just going to help to increase your self-trust. I actually got this tattoo literally, I think it was halfway through 2019, and it says trust and action. And the thing is, I got this because I really was resonating with those words at the time, but now more than ever, I realize that self-trust and taking action are two major keys to success. When you don't trust yourself, you're probably not going to take the action that you need to go towards your goals. So learn how to trust yourself, and when you trust yourself, the action will be a lot easier. Another mindset habit that I have seen so many women really succeed with is not wasting time through rumination. And what I mean by this is I just see so many people thinking over and over what the worst case scenario could be. What if I go live and no one shows up? What if I launch a program and nobody buys? What if I start a YouTube channel and I don't get any views? That type of mindset keeps so many people stuck. Whereas on the other side of that, this kind of self-trusting and a little bit naive mindset that I see so many successful entrepreneurs having is, so what if nobody buys, nobody shows up, and nobody watches? I'm gonna keep moving forward regardless. I think it's just really important, if you're constantly focusing on the pessimistic side of what could happen, you do the work to try change to a more optimistic view. Even if you've had failures in the past, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have failures in the future. I always think about Sex and the City and the episode where Carrie's writing the book and she dedicates it to Charlotte being like the ultimate optimist. That literally is the mindset that you want to have for your success. The ultimate optimist. No matter what happens, you're going to keep moving forward. You're going to keep showing up. You're going to keep looking for love or looking for success, whatever you're trying to do. But you're just going to keep showing up and keep showing up. And that kind of naivety, but optimistic naivety, is the thing that is going to stop wasting a lot of your time. Okay, now this is a big one. The most successful women, successful people that I know don't expect results without taking action. And I know you're probably thinking, well, duh, Erin, that is so obvious. Like, you need to take action to get results. And I feel like everybody does know that on a conscious level, but then I also feel like a lot of people are like secretly hoping that something happens where they don't necessarily need to show up and take action. How I know this is because I quite often get messages in my inbox saying, hey, do you do shout out? Meaning that what people are wanting to do is kind of bypass the work that they need to do in order to build their audience. And although I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to, you know, put yourself out there and whatever, if you want to ask for a shout out, that's okay. At least you've put yourself out there and taken that risk. But at the end of the day, what this really shows me is that people are kind of secretly hoping there is still some magic pill to success. The same way I think some people are still kind of hoping that there's a weight loss pill out there that is going to solve all of our health and fitness problems. It just doesn't exist. The thing is, and I say this in a lot of my programs, you're going to get out what you put in. It doesn't matter if you sit on the manifestation side of the fence or the action side of the fence. At the end of the day, you still have to show up and do the work. Results come from action. There is no other way around that. You get out what you put in. You show up, you get results. It's just as simple as that. So if there is still a slight part of you that's kind of hoping that there's a way around taking action or a way around showing up consistently, check that. And what I will say is that it's not just about forcing yourself to take action either. Specifically when it comes to building an online business or achieving goals in our life. What I say is that you want to find a way to take action and enjoy taking action. If not, then what's the point? Our life is made up of the actions we take, not the results that we achieve. And so what's the point of constantly slugging towards these goals for that moment of happiness and success when you could instead find a way to enjoy taking action so that your life is made up of enjoyment? So here's the thing, you're not going to get any results if you don't take action. It's as simple as that. But if you can, little bonus tip, find a way to enjoy the action. That's like the magnifique version of what I call success. Number 6 is that they are only in competition with themselves. It's come into my sphere a lot lately that I've seen a lot of people being really competitive, specifically around like money and results and like audience growth. When at the end of the day, I think like a healthy dose of competitiveness is okay. Like it keeps us moving forward. And there's certain scenarios where competitiveness is way more important than, you know, in others. Like of course you want to be competitive in sports or particular areas of life. But for business and for goal achievement, the number one thing you want to be doing is competing with yourself, you know, trying to show up and be better than the version of you that you were yesterday, trying to constantly grow and build upon that. The reason why this is so important is because I truly do believe that the person in business that doesn't have to compete is the winner. Why? Because that person is most likely going to be the most self-satisfied. You know, if I'm trying to, let's say, look at income goals, if I'm trying to beat everybody else out there, I'm so heavily focused on what other people are doing in their lives and in their businesses, I'm forgetting to enjoy my own life and my own business. Whereas if I'm just trying to get better than I was last month and be a better person than I was yesterday, all of my focus and attention is coming inwards. Of course, I'm focusing on my clients and my community and all of that stuff, but in terms of growth, I'm focusing it all inwards, which is so much more healthier because I'm not necessarily living vicariously through other people. I'm literally living my own life. And so I truly do think that it's really important if you are someone who's constantly feeling like you need to be in competition with other people, or if you get your sense of self-satisfaction by beating other people, that you really need to check that. You need to check that and you need to turn that focus inward. Because I know a lot of people that are so focused on competing with other people that when I sit down and ask them, are you really happy with your life? They cannot even answer that question because they've been so externally focused. They don't even know whether they're building their own dreams. And so what I would say is if you're feeling competitive or if comparisonitis is something you struggle with, turn the attention inwards. What is it that you want and are you living that life? Who do you want to be and are you becoming that person? Okay, so my final one is going to be a little bit of a call out, and it's definitely something I've mentioned here on the channel before, but in line with all the other ones that I shared with you today, I just thought it was worth mentioning. Number 7, the mindset of successful women is that they know excuses are bull. I guess the reason why I wanted to bring this one up as well is because I know a lot of people have really struggled this year. This year being 2020, I know it has been the most challenging year that I've experienced in my time being alive. However, what this has led me to see is that a lot of people want to use their circumstances as a get out of action free card. You know, a lot of people are saying, this is my scenario and therefore I should be able to X. And I get that, you know, when it comes to demanding the government for stimulus packages, or when it comes to getting support from your community, I get that. But what I've seen is a lot of people saying that I've lost my job, I've been going through hardship, you know, and somehow they kind of expect that to be the reason why they don't need to show up online or they don't need to do the work to build their business. I'm not saying that I don't feel absolutely fortunate to have the success that I have, but I also just want to say that I don't know one person who has success who's it dropped in their lap or their excuses was an excuse for them not to take action towards their goals. Everybody's living their own life and everybody has their own excuses. Everybody has their own reasons not to be successful and not to take action and not to work on themselves. As much as it can feel like our personal circumstances are burning because of course we're the ones experiencing them, everybody is going through stuff. And what I just want you to recognize is that you can have your excuses or you can have your results. Those two don't usually go hand in hand together. I just visualize this in my mind all the time, like someone walking up to like a big gate and being like, here's my excuse card, can I please have my success now? Like, I kind of wish it worked like that, but the fact is that it just doesn't. The only thing that's going to get those results for you is purely just taking action, believing in yourself, trusting yourself, working on yourself, and taking action. So again, I know there's a lot of people people who really are in a situation of struggle, but at the end of the day, if you want to become more successful, healthier, fitter, have a successful business, the reality is that it's going to be up to you taking action. All right, that is it for me. I really hope that you enjoyed these habits. I really hope that maybe you got something out of this video that you haven't heard before, or maybe you just heard something that you've heard many times over, but it just stuck in your head today as something you can start working on to move towards those goals and dreams that you have for yourself. I want to thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate your time, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.